Welcome back to Villa Familia, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 25th, and we have a ton of things to share with you on this update. First and foremost, this front entry roof here. So as the team was getting things framed and putting stuff together, I came to site, I think it was last week, and I looked and I saw how it was kind of coming together, and I was like, not vibing on what our original design was. Talked to the client, went back to the drawing board, and we've come up with a new design. So, I mean, it's roughly gonna look like it is here right now with respect to having this roof above the dining room, which is this room over here. This roof is gonna come down, and this is gonna be the overhang for the front door. And then this roof up here is going to come down and land on top of that roof. So it's gonna create like a really cool effect over the front entry and just clean things up so that it looks and works better. We have HVAC contractors on site. So let's start walking around inside and come take a look. In here, well, we've just had a tub delivery, so we've got tubs ready for roughing. Might be a little bit early, but that's okay. Coming through here, we've got our handy dandy allowable hole chart, laminated, posted on the job site, so all of our trade partners can know how big a hole they can drill and where they can drill the holes in the joists and the beams. It's important information to know. Closets framed in the foyer now, looking good. We've started to run HVAC, so you can see that. It's the metal ducting up there. Not entirely, I think that's for the HRV. That one, but I could be wrong. We'll find out. Interesting that the plumbing is coming down below the ceiling there. Not quite sure what's going on there. We'll have to check in with Stefangelo and see what the game plan is for that. Tons of work getting done here. Holy. So we've got most of our plumbing all roughed in, looking good. Looking really good, actually. So one of the things that we do on our projects is we always offer it, and we always strongly encourage our clients to use cast iron drain pipes, which is this stuff here. The reason being is it's quiet. If you live in a home and the toilet flushes and you hear the water moving through your house, you've got ABS. And ABS is just cheap, cheerful, and loud. So, we use ABS for the vents because there's no water that's gonna come through here. The only thing that's gonna be moving through this particular piece of pipe, air. That's it. So that's what that's about here. Again, we've got more of that cast iron. So here are the drains coming from upstairs, here and here. So this wall is gonna need to get furred in a little bit. And now some of you in the comment section are gonna be like, well, how do you have drainage in an exterior wall? How are you gonna insulate that? How's it gonna, how are you gonna be able to insulate that? We're not insulating inside of this house. Insulation's going on the outside. We're doing 6 inches of GPS. So it is going to be such a warm, comfortable home for this family. Fantastic, fantastic. The reason why we want to put insulation to the exterior is it eliminates thermal bridging, right? If you're standing in your home with an infrared camera, a thermal camera in the wintertime, right? Inside your home, camera at the wall, thermal imaging camera, you're gonna see every stud in your wall be blue. During the summertime, you'll see red studs. And the reason being is the energy of the air from the outside is coming through your studs, and that's thermal bridging. So by pushing the insulation to the exterior of the home, we eliminate that, and it makes a significantly more energy efficient home, like significantly. It also helps with air tightness a little bit, because again, like the more we can do to prevent wind blowing through the home, the better, right? And the number one thing that we care about when it comes to energy efficiency, air tightness. It is the number one most important thing, barring everything. The example that I give people is go to the Arctic. Imagine building yourself a styrofoam cube. And let's make the styrofoam cube have 12-inch walls. So it's super insulated. But then you put a 2-inch hole in that wall. And you're not allowed to put your hand over it. You gotta leave the hole open. Well, you have the wind howling from outside, and it's gonna come through that hole, and you're gonna be cold inside your 12-inch insulated cube. Take poly, just 6 mil poly, right? And create that same cube, same size, same everything, Now, of course, in both of these examples, you're wearing an oxygen tank. And you now have a completely airtight cube. Well, because there's nothing coming through, you're gonna feel warmer. I mean, is it gonna be like warm? No, it's still just poly. There's no insulative value. But because you're not gonna have the wind howling through at you, you're gonna stay warmer. And that's why it's so important to have really good air tightness for your home. It does bring other issues in terms of making sure we're keeping the inside air of the home fresh. And that's what we use an HRV for, heat recovery ventilator. We'll do another video about that another day. But yeah, that's what's going on here. So let's keep moving through. We're in here now and you can see most, if not all of that bracing, right? You had all those diagonal 2x4s everywhere, made it kind of impossible to walk around. That's all been removed now. And so you can really start to get a feel for what the house is gonna feel like. This is here, but I can assure you that this will not be here when we do our pre-installation walkthrough. And the reason being, in my career, I don't even know how many hours I've spent trying to get the rough-in perfect for a pendant or a sconce in a bathroom. Despite how hard I've tried and every effort that I've made, we have never, in 19 years of being in business, got it right at this stage. Something seems to always change. It's impossible to know what it is that's gonna change, but it seems that something always changes. So what we're rather gonna do is we're actually gonna put some plywood in replace of this. We're gonna put some plywood back here and we're gonna loop the wire behind the plywood. By doing that, then once we're done, the electricians just take a 4-inch hole saw exactly where we want the octagon box to go. And it would be a pancake box at that point. And then they'll take a 2-inch drill, make a hole in the plywood, and then they'll fish the wire out. And now, boom, your sconce is exactly where you want it to be. Makes sense, right? Naomi. So we've got our backing here for our niche in this shower. So this is gonna be a shower right now, right? That's your drain right here. Good to go. Toilet, water for the toilet there. We've got our vanity stuff here. Right now, the camera is situated in the bathtub. And then the shower is gonna be right over there. You know, the last time we were here, we didn't have any of this framing done to the ceiling and all of these sorts of details. So that's all done now. And how great does it look, right? This is all super clean, looks amazing. I'm loving how you're doubling up into these things, the HRV, stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool, dude.
No, it's pretty slick.
All right, so we are down in the basement now, and we are in the future wine cellar. And so again, more cast iron drainage. Beautiful. This is all looking very good, very great. If you're wondering out there in YouTube land, what happens here, so part of the inspection process is the plumbers actually fill all of these pipes, including the vents, up with water all the way to the roof. So there's actually water coming out of the vents in the roof. And that's the test that gets put on to make sure that there's no leaks and that all of this stuff has been done correctly, in case you care. Coming in here is a bedroom. So this bedroom is gonna have 2 closets. Very nice for a guest bedroom. And it's a cheater ensuite, or we call it a cheater ensuite. So there's a door to the bathroom from this bedroom, but there's also a door to the bathroom from the main living space. So there's 2 points of entry to the bathroom, which just really increases its utility, right? All right, so we're down in the garage here. Now, one of the things that was on the original design, and I think it just is kind of like a really nice aesthetic sort of idea, was that there was a double 2 garage doors. And when I was here and I was looking at how you would swing into this garage and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, I don't see that working very well to have a post in the middle and be able to get a vehicle into this garage. So talked to the clients, had them come and had a look at it. They got rid of the middle of the garage. Good call. You know, one of the things that we look for in a concrete pour is any sort of air bubbles like this, right? This, not a big deal. In construction speak, we call it honeycombing. And what happens is if the concrete isn't properly vibrated as it's being poured, you'll get this honeycomb sort of look, and it just leaves things looking really crappy and the wall not as strong. So this looks amazing. Really, really, really good. I mean, look at how good the back of this house looks. Hey, look at this. And we're only just getting started. So good. So one of the things that's come up over the last couple of weeks was drainage for the rainwater leaders and the drain tile for this garage. One of the tools that I think is the most underutilized tool, and if you watch my content enough, you'll know that I have a high level of disdain for bureaucracy and government. But one tool that they have that is absolutely fantastic is their GeoWeb tool. Every municipality that I'm aware of has one, and if you know how to use it, you can find where the sewer mains are, the stormwater mains are, the water mains. You can find a ton of really, really useful information if you're a realtor or a builder or a plumber. Yeah, probably other trades too, but certainly for those people, there's just so much great information. And so what that'll tell you is, you know, where the stormwater is running through the road, if there's anything in the alley. And once you know that, you can know where you can send your discharge to. You know, we thought for a minute that we could only go out here with our discharge. Well, it turns out there's also a storm drain in the alley, so we can connect the garage to the alley and life is good. There are tools out there. You just gotta know where they are, and you gotta know just to use them, and in some cases how to use them. The GeoWeb tools are relatively easy to use. All right, well that's a wrap at Villa Familia this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you are thinking about doing a second story addition like this, or any sort of renovation or custom home, we would love to hear from you. Contact us and we will have a wonderful chat, and we'll see if we can't work together and create something magnificent. In the meantime, hit that like and subscribe button so I can become internet famous, and stay awesome. Thanks for watching. Bye now.